Hello, welcome to the Price Academy, bite-sized history videos. This video is introducing Mary Tudor. Mary Tudor, Queen of France, was the younger sister of King Henry VIII. Mary was born to King Henry VII and Elizabeth of York on the 18th of March in 1496 at Richmond Palace. Mary was one of 8 children, but only 3 of whom lived to adulthood: herself, Margaret, and Henry. Tragedy struck Mary when aged 7. Her older brother and heir to the throne, Arthur, died in 1502. A year later, Mary's mother, Elizabeth of York, died after giving birth to a daughter, Catherine. When Mary was 8 years old, her older sister, Margaret, then aged 14, went to Scotland to marry King James IV. Mary and her older brother Henry were the only siblings left in England, and for this reason a close bond grew between them. Henry named his famous warship the Mary Rose in her honour. Mary had an education fit for a princess, including learning Latin, French, how to dance, and play a musical instrument. It was said Mary was the most beautiful princess in all of Christendom. As a child, Mary's father promised her hand in marriage to Charles of Castile, later the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V, and nephew of Catherine of Aragon. This was under the Treaty of Calais. However, following her father's death in 1509, her brother renounced the match in 1514, and at age 18, her brother Henry VIII negotiated for Mary to marry the 52-year-old King of France, Louis XII. Mary travelled to France in October 1514, and with her entourage were the sisters Mary and Anne Boleyn. It has been suggested before she left England she made her brother promise that for her second husband she could have a man of her choosing. The wedding took place on October 9, 1514, making Mary Louis's 3rd wife and the reigning Queen of France. The ailing Louis XII died after 4 months of marriage to Mary on New Year's Day 1515. Charles Brandon, the 1st Duke of Suffolk and Henry's best friend, was sent to France following Louis's death as an ambassador for Henry VIII's court to offer congratulations to the successor, Francis I. Wasting little time, Mary took Charles Brandon, Duke of Suffolk, as her second husband. They married in secret in France on the 3rd of March 1515, suggesting it was a genuine love match. However, Charles Brandon had committed treason by marrying Mary because he did not gain the king's permission. After some negotiations, the couple returned to England on the promise they would return Mary's dowry and pay an annual fine. Mary had to be known as Dowager Queen of France rather than the Duchess of Suffolk. Mary had 4 children, 2 girls and 2 boys. Henry Brandon was born on 11th of March 1516 and sadly died in 1522. Her daughter Frances was born on the 16th of July 1517. Eleanor followed in 1519, and Henry, 1st Earl of Lincoln, was born in 1523 and sadly died in 1534. Mary died on the 25th of June 1533, aged 38, at her home in Westthorpe Hall in Suffolk, possibly of angina. As Dowager Queen of France, her funeral was a lavish affair, and she was eventually buried in Bury St Edmunds. Neither her brother or husband attended, but her 2 daughters, Frances and Eleanor, did. Mary's legacy would continue in her granddaughter, Lady Jane Grey, who would be Queen of England for 9 days after Edward VI's death. Charles Brandon went on to marry the 14-year-old heiress Catherine Willoughby. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to like and subscribe to the channel or follow me at Twitter at TanyaAlex38.